Welcome to Go For Side Effects. I'm your host, Kevin Simon. Y'all know my co-host, John. John, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I look like I look like somebody spray washed me with some white stuff. I don't know
It must be that
what's going
makeup
on.
powder you've been putting on.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of makeup powder, John, I lost my bet. Texas A&M got beat by the Texas Longhorns. So, for my suffering, I have to not only wear a dress, but I also have to wear makeup and lipstick, and a
Oh,
14-year-old girl is going to be doing it.
no
So,
kidding.
that brings me to the Army and Navy game.
Oh, we're gonna whip the Navy.
I'm going to tell you what. So here's going to be the bet. Here's going to be the bet. If I win, you, Wade, have to wear lipstick. Red lipstick, like I did last year.
Okay.
If
Bet.
I lose, only if I lose.
Wait, hold on. Did you say if I win?
No, I know. I mean, if y'all lose, if the Navy beats y'all, if the Army beats the Navy, which I don't see that happening, but if the Army beats the Navy, not only will I wear the lipstick again, but I will proudly have a video that I will put up on this screen and show everybody what I look like in a dress and makeup. Okay?
Okay.
Is that a deal?
Yeah, I'm not wearing a damn dress. I'll put on
You
lipstick.
have to
I
put
ain't
on
putting
lipstick.
on no dress.
You got to put on lipstick. So here's the bet. If John wins, I wear lipstick, and I have to show me in the dress with makeup and everything on because of the A&M game. Thanks, A&M, bunch of losers. But you have to wear lipstick if the Navy wins. Okay, you and Wade. That's going to be the bet. All right.
Does Wade know this?
I don't care if Wade knows it or not. Y'all going to be wearing lipstick.
He's going to find out.
So, we're going to jump right into this, everybody. So, let y'all know, I want to start off by, in our bio, in the link and everything else, y'all go check out Nova. Nova is doing a research program. If you can't find it in the link, look on our Facebook. You'll see it up there. They're doing a at-home virtual studies on Go For Veterans. So I'm just signing y'all. I signed up. John signed up. Wade signed up. I know a lot of people have signed up for it. So y'all please go do that. All right, we're going to get into this. So tonight we're going to talk about community in the care. So there's a lot of questions of people sitting out there wondering about community in the care. Well, I am going to tell each and every one of y'all that this right here may teach y'all a little bit, because there was quite a bit that I had no idea about. And me and John even, I'm not going to say we argued, but we kind of got in disagreement of the distance.
It's care in the community, not community in the care.
I'm sorry. Care in the community. Care in the community. I apologize. I said that wrong. Okay, so what we're going to end up doing is, this is the one I want to bring up first, okay? So, right here is a list that actually you can get off of va.gov if you haven't seen it, all right? So, understanding the community care process, otherwise known as care in the community, right? Okay, so I had it right, community care. Consulting and creating and review. I'm not going to read it all. Y'all can go do that. Okay? So, community care, if you live about 40 miles or further away from the VA, y'all are allowed y'all are allowed to uh, be able to have care in the community. And I see on here, Jason, can you see us all right? Y'all tell me if y'all can see us just fine and hear us just fine. Okay. So 40 miles, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. There's some rules to everything. VA always has scheduling. Scheduling is important because I'm learning that because I went out in the care community and I haven't heard back from the doctor at all. And it's been like 3 weeks. And they said, oh, it's going to be a fast process. And I'm like, I don't really ever, know the military to have fast process. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of zoom this in a little bit more. I'm going to bring you in, John, you and that nice size head of yours. Authorization. How do you get authorization? Well, you get it through your primary care physician. That's exactly who you get it from. I have to ask any of my doctors, especially my primary care, if I'm allowed to go out in the community around my area. Community care visits. Scheduling on time, be there on time. That's exactly what they're talking about.
And so
Jason's right about this. Jason's like, the community care is a hit and miss because the VA pays like one at 1 and the 5th. And Jason, you are correct on that because it's not easy.
I think this, as Jason suggested, I think my wife and I were talking earlier today. It depends on where you live in the United States and how quickly and who you're dealing with. I don't remember what state Jason's in. You're in Texas. I'm in Iowa. Wade's in Iowa. Tina's out on the East Coast. It depends on where you're located, how far you are from VA, and if you're using once you contact your provider and they say, yep, you can go here for care in the community, you can't drop the ball. I mean, I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, Kevin,
but that's what we're going to schedule an additional appointments. You have to be there when you have to be there. You miss an appointment, it's almost like you got to go through the process again. That's one thing I made a mistake on one a long time ago. I will never do it again. And that's where it goes into reauthorization. You might be required, for care beyond limits. If your authorization, you will need to, be reauthorized. And that's what they do. If you need more stuff, they have to send it in to get approval. I mean, we all know how that works, and we all know that, okay, it doesn't really work that great. But because I have a VA clinic that is close, it's like 10 miles from my house, I have to go see them for my primary and everything, stuff that they can do there. But it still takes 6 months to 8 months to get an appointment and a lot of things you do. So, with that being said, if y'all remember, under Trump's administration, if it goes past 30 days, they have to allow you to go outside into the community. Doesn't mean they will. But
you really got to. Can you hear me all right, Kevin?
Yeah, I hear fine. Go ahead. You really got what?
So I was just, when it goes for care in the community, for instance, let's say you want to see a chiropractor. Now, if your VA is close enough and they offer it there, but they can't get you in, then you can request, if they can't get, I think it's 30 days, you can request care in the community, as long as you have somebody say, okay, this provider offers it. And you got to check with the provider, say, do you take Champ VA? Or not, I'm sorry, you don't, no.
Well, they find it for you.
That's what we're talking. Right. Well, but that can go good or bad. You want to make sure it's somebody you want to go to. And because I was going to do the eyeglass thing, my local eye doctor, they weren't set up for it. So I had to travel 20, 25 miles away.
Right.
Not a big deal for me,
But
anyways. And do it there.
okay,
So you got to do some footwork on your own.
but here's also the one thing about it is that you get 3 visits to go to what's that called? Urgent care. You get 3 visits, and then after that's like $30 copay. Okay, so and me for certain things. So I learned one thing: prescriptions. That's where we're going into the next thing. And the next thing, if y'all notice, is prescriptions and durable medical equipment. Okay, for pickup. All right, there are like I'm just gonna name some grocery stores that's around me. It's grocery stores and stuff like that, like Kroger's, HEB, Walgreens. There are certain ones that are set up. Here's the problem I have with Walgreens: they're set up. But when I go there, they give you the baby formula stuff of it. Like amoxicillin, mine was liquid. It was not antibiotic pills. They gave it to me in pediatrics form because the guy was mad. And he was like, well, it's only like $14, $15. I said, but you're signed up with the VA. And I mean, the VA even talked to him saying, y'all have to, y'all are signed up, in this. So he got revenge on me and gave it to me in kitty form. So,
oh, geez.
I didn't mind. It tasted pretty good, too. I told him I want to experiment.
The mannerism in which he or she did it.
Right. Oh, yeah, man. Me and this guy were yelling back and forth. So let y'all know, if you go to urgent cares or anything like that, they can look up exactly anywhere around there of who takes VA prescriptions, okay? And let me tell you, they don't give you a full 30 days. They give you a certain amount, and then the rest comes from the VA. It is true. Unless you already have it unless you do the mail-in. Now, receiving and paying your bill. This is a good one, because a lot of people may not know this. If you only have VA insurance, like I do, when Obamacare came, Blue Cross Blue Shield dropped me, told me how to go with the VA. Because I would have not back then been at have the problems I have now, but I was going through it all. And for them to sit there and say, hey, Kevin, you're 30% for kidneys, okay, for your kidneys and kidney stones. Okay. So if I went to an outside doctor in community care of the community, saw a doctor, if it is not if you're not 100%, if you're lower than that, and you go for a broke toe to that doctor, the VA will not pay for it. If it is not one of your disabilities. Even if you're at 90% or less, if you're 100%, you can use that one doctor. But if you're at 90% or below, I read an article about that today, and I thought that was just stupid.
Well, but to clarify, if you're not rated at 100%, if you're TDIU or IU, individual unemployed, and you're not rated at 100, but you're getting paid at 100,
it still
you
qualifies.
can still do it.
Yes. But but they can send you out because the VA can send people out if they are only 20%. They can send them out. But they're going to send them out on what the problem is of that. They're not going to send you out on any other problem. That's the one thing I've learned. I was reading an article. It's a bunch of BS. Go ahead.
So, Kevin, I don't know if you want to touch base on this now or later in the podcast tonight about how you muddy the waters with if you have other insurance. So, if you have other insurance, it will muddy the waters
Yes,
with
it will.
VA insurance.
It will
Meaning,
100%.
yeah, you would if you're rated on 100%, don't have any other insurance because then it becomes an insurance claim problem in the backside and it's a pain. Why go through all that? You don't need it. You know, I would suggest do without, even if you're married and he or she has other insurance and they're on yours, have them cancel. Why pay for the insurance? What's the purpose? If
Well,
because your most out of pocket expense you're going to pay
but
is
hold on.
$3,000 in a fiscal year.
But hold on, that's not true because like if there's certain procedures, you may live in an area that even like if the spouse is on with the VA, you're 100%, and the spouse has their what's that called? Community care, or whatever it's called for them. Do you know that? So we're going to get into that later on the payment thing because there's a lot of places that don't take it for the spouse when you hit 100%, and that's what we're going to hit on next week, John, because you brought that up. I'm so glad you did because that's going to remind us to talk about what spouses are on when you hit 100%. But look, at the 1-877-881-7618 is the Community Care Contact Center. Okay? But I want y'all to see right down here where I was talking about urgent cares. You're registered primary care provider within the last 24 months. If you are registered with the VA and have been seen your primary care provider within 24 months, you are eligible to use VA urgent care benefits. Okay? And that number is 1-800-698-2411. Y'all might want to write that down and keep it down. Emergency care. During a medical emergency, you should immediately go to the nearest hospital. Okay? Whether it's a VA medical center or not. Veterans do not need to check with the VA before calling an ambulance. Okay? I'm going to say EMS because have people that just understand what the heck I just said because I don't say ambulance right. Okay? And are going to the community hospital emergency departments. However, the VA coordinator potentially pays for the emergency care. Okay, now I want y'all to read that again. For VA to coordinate and potentially, that's a big word right there with the VA, for emergency care. The VA does not look at kidney stones as an emergency. Well, they can kiss my ass. I fought this one. I had to go to my congressman over that. So
they didn't reckon. I didn't have an issue with it.
They didn't recognize whenever I cracked a tooth and it was a Friday night, and man, my jaw just swelled up. I went straight to the hospital. They didn't recognize that. I had to get home with a congressman on that one. So that actually worked. But in 72 hours, within 72 hours, you have to call 1-844-724-7842. You have to let them know you were in the hospital or you're in the hospital. Give that number to your loved one. Give it to anybody and everybody you know and tell them if you ever go to the hospital, have them all call. Who cares? As long as all of them knows that you were there. Okay?
Yeah, because otherwise you, again, back to the terminology, potentially could be on the hook if you don't call and say, hey, I reported it.
Exactly.
So cover that backside.
Exactly. And that's the important part. You know, this is a good refresher for most anybody and everybody who's listening. Some people are like, oh, I already know that, or this, and this. So I'm going to use an example. When it comes to an emergency or it comes to stuff, I literally have to concentrate on everything because my brain is not 100%, moving properly. It's foggy, and it moves 100% fast, but the fogginess like takes little cuts in there. Like, ooh, I'm gonna take that out, right? Right?
Same way. I'm same way, brother. Same way.
And most of y'all are probably like that. Like you'll be going, okay, man, I'm gonna go out and what the hell was I doing? Oh
Yep.
yeah. I'm gonna go
Yep.
out. I'm gonna get that saw. You go out there and you're like, what saw did I need? Which one of them? Oh, what was that measurement I took? It's amazing how it works. So,
Oh God.
so I'm gonna use that reference as this is a good refresher course for each and every one of us about this. Now, this is what I found interesting, and I'm going to share this, and we're going to zoom in on this, and I'm going to actually. Can you see that all right, John?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Good to go.
So this right here is from va.gov. These are the requirements. You must meet both of these requirements to be eligible for VA health care. Okay? And this is part of community care in the community too. You're enrolled or eligible in VA health care. You have approval from a VA care team. What the hell does that mean? Does it mean your specialist can send you out? Okay. Before you get care from community providers, okay? Except for certain cases like urgent or emergency, which we already went over. So, okay, now, here's another one. These are more requirements. You must at least meet one of these requirements. You need a service that we do not provide at the VA or a health facility. Or you live in a state or a territory that does not have a full service VA health facility. Now, why isn't there a full service VA health facility in every state? Explain that to me, because you're about to see. You live in Alaska, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Wyoming. You get, in these states, you get to go outside. You qualify under the 40-mile distance requirement of June 6, 2018, and live in a location that you still may be eligible under these requirements. Or we can't provide we can't provide the care you need within our standards for drive and wait times.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's key information.
Right there.
That is really super important because it's all in the verbiage. Okay, they're a little outside of 40 miles or in 40 miles, but wait a second, we can't get them in the designated approved time. You got to be focused on that.
30 days. It's 30 days. Yeah. If they can't get you within 30 days.
Or if you're just sweet and I say sweet, or if you're very kind to the people you're working with, sometimes they'll just do you a solid and get you where it's, you in. You got to be nice to them.
You got to be really nice. Bring them roses.
A little sweet talking goes a long way.
Here's another or. You and your VA provider agreed that getting care from an in-network community provider is in your best medical interest. Right, Jason? Or we can't provide the service you need in a way that meets our quality standards. Now think about that. Because Jason posted that. He's like, he gets to go outside because they're not meeting his quality. And so and I agree with that. There's some places out there that I know, like community care and all these places out there that we all go to, care in the community, and also our VA providers that some people we just can't get along with. My dentist, I didn't get along with him. He cracked my tooth and said, "Oh, now I'm going to send you outside." And he shaved that tooth down without telling me he cracked it. Until I got home and realized, son of a bitch, it's cracked. And so I had to wait for 3 weeks. Now I'm on my other 3 weeks. So it's 6 weeks since that little incident happened. But luckily, it was a tooth that had.
Again, I think I really, the many vets that we've had the privilege of talking with, Kevin.
Right, I agree.
It's pretty obvious to me that across the country things just don't. Sorry, I don't know if I just talked over you, brother, or not. If you really got to advocate for yourself when it comes to this.
I agree. Now, I'm going to tell y'all some pretty exciting stuff. So, I went on a cruise over Thanksgiving with my whole family. Had a blast. They had, in which I've been on several cruises because it's the cheapest damn thing you can do. If you haven't been on one, we all ought to do one together and call it the Go for Illness Cruise. That's what we should do. And then, but they had a military appreciation day. Okay, so at 11 o'clock, 11:30, something like that, we went down. All these vets from all walks of life, all age groups, from 18 up, not younger. And there was a guy from the Royal Army there that got up and talked and everything. And then they did the Army, Navy, and, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and the Space Force, and which was really cool because the Space Force, there was a guy talked up that his daughter now is in the Space Force. He goes, I have no idea what she's doing, but it's really cool to know somebody who's, in there. But so we all got to talk, and I brought up about our podcast and, about how we communicate with Desert Storm vets. And so we're kneeling down, taking a picture, in which I should have uploaded the picture. I don't know why the heck I didn't. I should have uploaded the picture. Okay. And that guy knelt down next to me. He goes, Mr. Simon, my name's Marshall from Alabama. He's like, I listen to your podcast every week. I was like, man, that is so cool. And everything.
That's awesome.
And we got talking. And then I met 2 other gentlemen. One was a Desert Storm, and one was a Go 4 vet. Both of them, I will get a hold of them. They will come on the show. They're Texas Veterans Commission. Same thing as a VSO officer. They work for Texas Veterans Commission. One was a Desert Storm vet, and one of them was a Go 4 vet. But they met in the military, best friends. Really cool, man, John. It was really cool. But we got to hear from, Vietnam guys, from everybody. It was just so badass. And then we went and sat down and had a cup of tea and coffee and, and cookies and cake. We got sitting around this table, and all of us were sitting there talking. They were asking me about the podcast. But the guy from the Royal Navy, I should have gotten his number. I should have got his email. I should have got anything and everything I could have, because that guy was badass, man. He flew in a medic. He was a medic helicopter. He didn't jump out of a helicopter, and he told us stories that I was just like, wow. And his wife was also a veteran too, I think, of Desert Storm. So really cool. So I thought I'd bring that up. But with that being said, y'all remember, hey, y'all please go on to our page, go into the description of this, click the link, click in the bio. The link is there about, Nova. Y'all go check that out. Do your home studies with them, virtual, Zoom. Let's Yeah, and one guy, he did post this, and I'm going to say this. I forgot what his name is, and I think some people may have saw it or not, but he actually was sitting there saying that, what's the point of us doing studies? It's not but a waste of our damn time. And then I didn't have to say anything because right underneath that next comment, I believe it was Jason. Jason put, because you do it for your kids. We're doing it for the kids now. It may not help for us. I think it was Jason who put that. If Jason, click yes, because I think it was you. And I put under that, yes, we do it for our children. And, that's important. So it was really cool. And then somebody else made a comment under that. So people are starting to realize, hey, let's start looking at our kids because they're going to come in real soon and to play. And we don't want them to have to do research. Let them do it on us. Let us be the guinea pigs for our own children. And so that's why I believe in Nova. I also believe in Dr. Glom. I believe, in a lot of these researches and stuff. And so, and yes, I agree with that, Jason. And also for all humanity, we need a lot of things to start changing and start with kindness. Open the door for somebody every day. If you open the door just one time a day for one person, you make that person's day, and they do it, and it starts spreading. May this country be a whole lot nicer because too many damn people are stressed out. That's all I can say. Way too many people are stressed out.
There's a lot of stressed out. Now, Kevin, I don't know if you do on a normal basis. I will because I choose to. I like to engage other vets. But here's the thing. Now, some people say, well, I don't like to wear maybe something that states that they're a veteran on a cap. Maybe they're a little young. Maybe they think they're yelling at one another. And I could see that when I was younger, maybe. But now it's like more like I'll wear a branch, or I'll say DD 214 alumni is kind of a neat one. Or I'll wear just the word veteran. I'll have a patch on the side. All it says is veteran. Doesn't say what branch or anything else. And the only reason I do that is certainly not for a hey, thank you for service. Not even close. I do it so other veterans can say hi to one another because it's a small world and we can just open a communication. Hey, so you're a veteran? What branch? Yep. And then then it's just it's hey, how you doing, man? Maybe you're having a shitty day. Well, let's talk. Guy or gal, whoever. Because obviously,
we still have a World War II. We still have a World War II vet that comes in a barbershop.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we still have Korean War vets. And so that is really, really cool how, them guys come in and, now they start talking a little bit more about it. They start telling, and this one, he was like, I jumped out of a airplane. I was like, he's an airborne ranger. And I said, why? He goes, $50 a month.
Why?
He said $50 a month
okay.
to send back home to help his mom.
Sweet.
I'm sorry. I ain't jumping out of an airplane for $5,000 to send home to my mama. I'm sorry, Mom.
I'm sure your mom's going to love that one.
If you're listening to this, I'm sorry, no freaking way. Because I promise you that parachute will probably not open, especially if I got to pack it, But, I want to thank everybody for listening. I really appreciate it. I mean, y'all support is fantastic with us, and we're going to keep this going. Next week, we're going to do once you hit 100%, and it's what's it called when your spouses get
Champ VA?
Champ VA.
Champ VA.
We're going to talk about Champ VA for your spouse because that's one a lot of people don't know about and what it can do. And I'm going to invite a lot
huge.
of
It's huge.
It is. I'm going to invite a lot of Vietnam guys to come in and listen, and their spouses, so the spouses and them can understand why it is important that they use this along with their Social Security. Because that right there alone will be their supplement. And with the changes that are going on with Social Security next year, they're going to get such a big bump up. And so, in their Social Security, because it was used for other projects. And so we need our Medicare. I'm sorry, Medicare was used for other projects. So I want to tell them why Champ VA is a really good program for them to get into, and how it is so important, and it will save them so much money, and it will save y'all money. If you're at 100%, it don't matter. It's going to save y'all a ton of money, and you're going to like everything you hear about that. So that's next week, Champ VA. Y'all, if you got an email, email me at kevinsimon@go4sideeffects.com, or you can send me a message on Facebook. I appreciate y'all listening. John, thank y'all, and I want everybody to have a good night.